Man, feels good to finally be done with that Unbeatable video. What the fuck is Unbeatable? White Label, released in 2021, is the Kickstarter precursor to Unbeatable, released in 2025. The game where music is blah 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 blah. I've done this intro 3 times already. White Label follows our favorite lesbians beating the boys, completely focused on the rhythm gameplay and not so much the open-ish world of Unbeatable. I gotta write in all caps, so I gotta shout it, you know? Like that's how this works. It's a more episodic take on the characters, or is at least planned to be, as this game is currently a demo for White Label. Which is confusing because 1, it's White Label itself, and 2, it's, you know, the demo for Unbeatable, but then Unbeatable got its own demo, and now Unbeatable's out, and this is going to become its own thing. It's kind of weird. The game at least appears like it's going to be focusing more on the interpersonal relationships between the bandmates rather than a larger ongoing plot. What is up, my cranky crew? Hey! I sense some irritation. So glad you decided to finally show up. Love it. We were just waiting and 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 waiting. Oh, like the song I wrote. Funny, I get it. Episode 1, at least that's what I assume is this, gives context towards Beat's character in many ways. Why not just use an actual journal? Don't ask. As well as direct canon inspiration for each of the songs Beat writes in Unbeatable. This does look very pretty. So, look, I've never told you this story, but one night when I was still in college, yes, I know, haha, make all the jokes you want about how short that was, but anyways, I went to a party, very under the drinking age, very not supposed to be there, and hey, one of my professors was there, and she hands me a beer, so that's weird, right? She wasn't trying to do anything gross, don't worry, this isn't going anywhere bad, but it was still, you know, pretty bad of her. Like, let's be real. Party wasn't a school event. She wasn't there to be like my teacher. I guess she didn't think about it. I mean, this was a grimy underground city party thing. And vibe was social gathering. It was break things. Oh, vibe was not social gathering. It was break things. The fact that I was there at all and saw her at all was a total accident. But I think about this all the time. I do not stop thinking about this. That was one of the first moments I felt aware of the fact that you look different to yourself from other people. Because I got into this thing, very much an event for adults, and to everyone there, I was just another person. I don't look at myself and see a fully grown person. I just see a stupid kid. I'll just do that then, yeah. This probably was my fault. There were definitely a few years that I thought music was just a thing for me, or just not a thing for me. Because of this, sure, okay, I still feel that way sometimes, but it felt like learning how to speak a foreign language in a body that didn't have a mouth. I can't process it all at the same time. It feels like too much information at once. Can't have been easy on her back then either, looking back. Yes, baby! I may have an issue with time management. Okay, not may, I do. I have a very bad issue with time management. Given that you'd think I'd be more forgiving of other people having the same problem. Nope. I'm a real asshole. Full time, always. Same, sister. I say I'm that way to protect myself because otherwise things would go badly for me. But I probably could just be nicer. God damn, I wish I played this game first. Ready to go on? Yeah. Aww. As I said before, White Label. At least according to my research, that is the AI summary on Brave. There's not much to say that wouldn't be rehashing my explanation from the demo of Unbeatable, you know, the other one, but I got a pad for time, so... Unbeatable White Label uses 2 buttons, one for the bottom lane and one for the top lane, with multiple note types. They're called silence and lore, but we don't need to be that pedantic. Your standard single notes for each lane, the 2 notes in tandem, notes that you gotta hold down, spikes you gotta avoid, this guy you just gotta beat. Get it? Please? No? Okay. These notes and their little notelings, and last but not least, this fucker, who jumps from one line to the other. This game still has much of the snappiness that gets me coming back to Unbeatable regularly, even after I finished the story back in January, and making my last video on it last month, which looks like it won't be my last video on Unbeatable, since the only things that get views on this channel are Unbeatable and Persona. Not to, you know, make complaints out of a demo, because this is a demo, but many of the sound effects and the direction of the UI is very, very rough in this game. Also, there's just like a lot going on in the opening sequence that just, I could not do the rhythm game in that opening sequence. Why does my hair have to be in my face? God damn it, not even 69. Not to dog on Unbeatable, it is still my game of the year, but God, the engine was not made for the open world gameplay. Yeah, it feels like the game is barely holding itself together. And White Label still suffers from that fate in like the 2 areas where you get to walk around. I'm sorry. Bone Camp, Tarantula Cafe, the Beat Pog, the Science of the Silence, or exclamation marks. I want to go with the Beat Pog. Oh, no, it's just a Peat Bog. That would have been funny though, right? Yeah, you're right. Nobody, thanks. Nobody. Yeah, you're right, nobody. Thanks for your input. Beat Bogs are kind of interesting, I guess. Have some creepy stuff in there, so that's cool. I think there's probably someone who is truly, utterly obsessed with them. That's a more fun thought to me than the existence of them to begin with. But yeah, the only reason White Label doesn't suffer from that in the larger game is because you don't do that in White Label. This whole video was an excuse for me to consume more Unbeatable content and make more content out of it before the Jamie Page DLC drops for Unbeatable. I'm excited to see where White Label goes in the future, but for now, go fucking buy Unbeatable and play it. That's it. Video over. Goodbye.